So I just finished watching the first episode of It, Welcome to Derry, and easily one of the best opening and closings of a TV show and movie that I've seen in a very long time because nigga, like, bruh, the episode opens up not like on no typical horror show, like, oh, you may feel safe, and then boom, you find out you're not. Nah, I'm talking about from movie theater to creepy car ride to a fucking demon baby. Yes, I said a demon baby. It just instantly like just stabs you right in the chest, and I am here for it. So, bruh, Pete, right? So first off, the episode starts off in Derry, 1962. So it's a prequel series to the two It movies and the novel by Stephen King, and it's basically focusing on like the interludes of the novel and like the stories and like the journals that Mike was taking care of in It Chapter 2. So this is basically what this is like focused on. So first of all, we meet Maddie, who is from the Stephen King novel, and he has a black eye. He's in the movie theater. You know, he has an abusive family. If you know, you know. Like that book is 1,000 pages, so I wouldn't expect everybody to have read it. You know, he ended up getting caught sneaking in the movie theater. He ends up breaking out. We do get our first glimpse of Ronnie, who's going to be one of the future losers, but you know, we'll get to her in a second. But yeah, like I said, Maddie ends up hitchhiking with a random family that picks him up who says they're on their way to Portland. And look, as we all know, there's no escaping Derry, Maine. You know what I'm saying? So everything kind of feels normal for the most part. And then all of a sudden, the daughter starts playing with some raw liver, tried to make Maddie smell her fingers. And let's just say the mother starts giving birth. Hey, look, forget whatever birthing videos they show in home ec or like sex ed. I think do they, if they still got sex ed in school, you know what I'm saying? But show them this shit because that'll scare anybody from wanting to give birth. But long story short, the mom ends up giving birth to a goddamn demon baby, and this demon baby fucks up every single body in the car, including Maddie, because all you see is Maddie pacifier fly out the window into the sewer. Title sequence. Just just bravo. That was beautiful. That was probably one of the most shocking and amazing code openings because look, we are we are kind of expecting to see like kids get messed up, you know what I'm saying, considering that it is it, but the way that the demon baby just the shit was fucking gross. Oh, just my bad. Just sorry. Moving on. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of that ugly ass baby from Resident Evil. I think it was 8 that chase you around the house. They be going, oh, God. All right, moving on now, for real. My bad. We are also introduced to Major Leroy Hanlon, who is Mike Hanlon's uncle. You know what I'm saying? He is on the nearby military base, and like I said, we are in 1962, so he is dealing with the good old-fashioned racism and the usual secrets. Yeah, I'll get to the army plot a little bit later, but yeah, that is gonna be interesting. But yeah, so just think about this. We got kids, adults, horror, social commentary, all within the first 10, 15 minutes of the show. So look, if you're not hooked off that, then I don't know what's gonna get you. And like I said, bro, just the way that his pacifier just flew out the window and then it just went into the it yeah, just bravo, like once again. Man, like after that, you know, they end up fast forwarding 4 months later, you know, when we jump ahead to about April, and it kind of started introducing us to our main players. You know, we got Lily, who's fresh out the psych ward. You know, they said Pops was nuts because he mysteriously died and that he was keeping body parts in jars, which, you know, Ew. We also got Teddy Uris, which, yes, he is related to Stanley, but he's already kind of sensed something that's kind of weird going on in Derry. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we do meet Ronnie in the beginning. She was the one who told her pops Hank at the movie theater that, that she saw Maddie go the other way. So they're already kind of introducing us to like the future, well, the present Losers Club. So also, what I liked about this episode is how they showed once again that Derry is the monster. Like, yes, people are here for the killer clown, and that is the main overall villain. But the town itself is already crazy. Like I said, we already got racism going on. Everything acts normal, but you can just sense like the repression and the trauma just boiling under the surface of the town. Like I said, we saw glimpses of that in the miniseries and in the movies as well. But I think this is already doing a good job of just letting you know of like the subtle hints that's been going on like every 27 years. You know what I'm saying? Like every time Pennywise just wake up that there were kind of like Freddy Krueger. You know what I'm saying? Like the adults knew it was something going on. They just didn't want to say it. I mean, like I said, I understand because fucked up. But yeah, so I do like how they are implementing like things like that, you know what I'm saying? Building the Stephen King universe a little bit more. Look, I know y'all heard me talk about the ending and how much I loved it, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get to it. So towards the end of the episode, the usual shenanigans starts going on. Lily starts seeing things, she thought she heard Maddie in the drain, fingers, bloody fingers coming out the drain, which is creepy as fuck, whispers, laughter, things like that. They end up linking up with Ronnie later on in the episode. So after they end up linking up with Ronnie, we end up heading back to the movie theater that they was at the beginning of the episode where everything kind of took place at, because that's where we first saw Ronnie and her pops work there. So what ended up happening was she ended up putting on Music Man, which was one of the songs that they was hearing sung. And hey, yo, look, I know all the rules of like horror, the genre and everything like that when it comes to kids and everything, but they went team fuck them kids because yo, the movie started playing and then all of a sudden, the projector started lighting up and then they started to see Maddie on the screen and they was like, hey Maddie, like, we're coming to save you. Maddie was like, it's y'all fault I'm in here in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden, insert that damn mutant demon baby comes out the projector. And when I say went full team, fuck them kids, dog. Teddy, done. Phil, done. Susie, done. I'm talking about, yo, blood fucking everywhere, yo. And when I tell you I am, oh my God, I absolutely love it. I know it's only one episode. This is probably the greatest show of all time. Because the fact that they just instantly killed them off in the premiere, I'm like, hey, yo, genius HBO. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I absolutely love it because that lets you know that nobody's safe. It went full Game of Thrones in the first episode. I mean, what more can you ask for? I do also love the fact that they're using horror just as a metaphor. You know what I'm saying? They're going beyond the jump scares. The monster is the town. They're reiterating that the monster is the town. And the fact that Pennywise is so attracted to it lets you know how evil that it really is, because the fact that his powers don't really work as much, you know what I'm saying, on people outside of the town of Derry. Like he's the strongest in that town. That's why he like chooses to stay there. So that says a lot about how fucked up this place really is. Now let's talk about some of the Easter eggs. So, Capitol Theater, which is the same theater from the It films, it also appears in the series as well, which is the same theater that Richie spent a lot of his time at when I guess he was basically having his moments. The Music Man came out in 1962, which is basically about a movie about a con man who came to town and made them create a whole fucking marching band for some kids and stuff like that. So it kind of is a good comparison to like how Pennywise has that deceptive nature and how the town is real, basically stupid and, and susceptible to, you know what I'm saying, his influence. Also, the Paul Bunyan statue, which it mentions the city plan to build a Paul Bunyan statue, and it was in It Chapter 2, if I'm not mistaken. Punk ass Alvin Marsh is scrawled inside of a heart in the school bathroom while he ended up becoming, Beverly Marsh's pops, who was weird as hell. And now that I think about it, it's also weird that it is in like the women's bathroom style because I think he was ended up being a janitor or something at the school. But yeah, 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 no kills. I also did love the issue of the Flash, considering like Andy did direct the Flash movie, which this is better than that. Like don't let him being affiliated with the Flash scare you away from this. This is way more excellent than that. I do like the fact that the show doesn't just automatically assume that you've seen the films, but it does give you a good wink at the fans that you do know of those things like that. So, shout out to Stephen King for that. Once again, so I know I mentioned it earlier, but the Cold War military subplot, it does give us a fresh angle. It's not just a remake of the movies or things like that. So basically, it sounds like the army is basically trying to capture Pennywise and use his influence to help them out with the Cold War. So good luck with that shit. Overall, man, is this episode worth it? Absolutely. I am definitely gonna be tuned in every week for sure. The next episode drops Halloween, so I will definitely be in the building for that. I will say this though, if you're just here for the clown, then you probably not gonna like it because, like I said, you can already tell that they do have an intention on this going for 3 seasons, so it is gonna be a slow burn. You see like a glimpse of it because you do see like little nods of the red balloon and stuff like that. So I do like the take. I like the unpredictability of it because this ain't no, you know what I'm saying, the kids got killed and it's one of those, oh, maybe it was a vision like Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2 or something like that, or like maybe it's one of those deaths that they can come back from. Nah, bruh. Like Susie hand was still attached to Lily when the episode went off. Them niggas is dead. Hey, last but certainly not least, man, shout out to the OG Dick Halloran, man, who is in the military in the original It novel around this timeline. He is from the Shining novel as well. But yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be a recurring character or a major character, but it does look like him and good old General Hanlon is going to be spending a lot of time together, or he is at least going to be a part of their lives. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it does make sense considering, he is a brother. It's the 60s. You know what I'm saying? General Hamlin, the look, the side eye that he gave him when he was like, yeah, my wife wanted to experience some normalcy. Then, he was looking like, you ain't gonna get that shit in Derry, bro. But I do love the way that he was looking because he does have the shining ability, which is telepathy basically, and he was Danny's mentor in The Shining, in the original novel and in the film. Speaking of which, I love how in the 1977 novel he survives. Jack does attack him, but he does survive, and Dan he does help Danny escape and things like that. But in the movie, though, oh shit, it is the beginning of the brother die first trope because he literally get called for help, walks into the hotel, gets attacked, never see Dick ever again. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that Stephen King, yeah, you wrong for that one. It was good to see him. So it looks like maybe he is going to use his shining ability to, help out Mike's pops. I do know that there was a fire. That happened back then in that timeline. So, maybe he's gonna be the one to kind of help him out, so he can avoid that. But yeah, man. That is my review of episode 1 of It. Welcome to Derry. I mean, if you rocked with it, let me know in the comment section what is some of your favorite moments. What are some of your favorite endings and cold openings to like a horror film? Because like I said, it's been a while since I've seen a show or a movie start amazing like this and end even crazier. So yeah, I just absolutely love it, man. But yeah, man, until next time, watch your corners, check your sewer gates. Don't sell no red balloons for no weird ass clowns, and I'll peep y'all next time, man. Peace.